All right, welcome everyone. I'm assuming that we're live, and thank you for coming in. Here we go. Pretty loud too. So hopefully everybody enjoys this. Again, we're just doing another test. I plan to do a handful of these, and we'll change up the categories of trivia today. I know not everybody loves trivia, but everybody loves trivia, right? So we thought we'd give this another shot, like we did last week. And for the life my screen didn't want to show me that the countdown was working. So it's interesting because we got a few glitches. This is the website called Live Reacting, similar to StreamYard and these other things. It just includes this trivia game. Richard McCormick, thanks for coming in. Last week we tried this with an AI host, but we found glitch after glitch after glitch with that. So we thought we'd try this. Elevate with Vern, my dear. YouTube BFF is in the house. Thank you for coming in. I tested this last week and I wanted to give it another try. It gives you the opportunity to have an AI host, but it doesn't do the best job in the world. And so I wanted to try hosting one of these and just see how this works out. And, over the course of many weeks, I hope to get this into a level that everybody will be happy with and find enjoyable. So we'll see. I'm going to try to do a couple of things here, like sharing it out and all that stuff. Again, it's just a test, but I do appreciate every moment that everybody can spend. And hopefully, if I share it out a couple of places, we'll get a couple of people coming in. I'm not going to go like too hardcore about it or anything like that. I'll share it out on Reddit, put it on the community tab. And you'll see that each of the games that we're going to play, which will be about 4, will have 10 questions. On the free version of this software, it automatically kicks you off after an hour, so we have to limit the stream. But I'll run a music stream on my other channel right after. We can go over there and everybody can drop their links and all that fun stuff. We'll stay there for another hour if everybody would like as well. And pardon me while I'm sending things out on the other networks there. Yeah, very close. Elevate with Vern and Andre Heinrich. Good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Scratch and PPA, my dear friend. Thank you so much for being here. He's always here with me for everything that I do. I've been sitting at 9,800 for quite some time, but I think it'll take the rest of the year to jump. Matty J88, good to see you in the house again. Let's see if you dominate the trivia geniuses today. What is the first book of the Old Testament is our first question. And it's funny because when I'm going through some of these, I'm looking at some of the topics in the questions because they're all generated by AI. And some of the stuff I wonder if is almost getting close to being against YouTube's rules for some of the names we have to talk about with historical characters. Michael's Adventures, my dear friend, good to see you. Jaden0248, our well-known friend, good to have you in the house. Kristen Welton, my love, thank you for being here. And thank you, everybody, for playing along. This is a really cool system because it lets you interact with the chat, and then it comes up with a leaderboard to let us know how everybody did. And everybody enjoyed it last week, so thank you very much, everybody, for playing. Matty J88 dominated, like I said, last week, so thank you for coming back in, and it looks like they might do a great job again. And I'm going to look at what I'm doing here to share this out on a community tab as well while everybody is anticipating the next question. Each game will have 10 questions. The first game we're playing is just general knowledge, so the questions will be mixed up. Then we'll move on to a couple of genres, if you want to call it that, according to Sherlock Holmes. If you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the... You can fill in that blank. And hopefully everybody's enjoying these. I think it's a really, really cool idea because, like I said, not everybody loves trivia, but everybody loves trivia. We know that. And it's cool because every single question comes with a list of who got the question correct, right? Or the answer correct. We'll see how everybody does today. So the truth, and a few people got that answer, which is great. Andy and Jaden both, as well as Maddie. And be on to the next question in a second. We'll see how the time works out for everybody. If the time between questions is okay, the time between games is okay, we should be able to get through 4 sets of this. Which country, not including Japan, has the most people of Japanese descent? Is the next question. And we'll see what everybody comes up with. I'm trying desperately to figure out how I can get this stream out on the community tab. I'm struggling with it. And we'll see who's got the answers right this time. Quarter Clubhouse Cobalt, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully my microphone level is okay. It's interesting because this system doesn't seem to have the ability to raise or lower the microphone. Whatever level it's at, and that's it. But thank you again, everybody, for being here. South Korea, not quite this time, but I wouldn't have known that. It's interesting as the host, I'm going to have to go through these things if we're going to do this a half an hour before, read all the questions and answers so that I know, because I'm no better than anybody else at trivia, I promise you. Corinne's Life, good to see you in the house. Which kind of aircraft was developed by Igor Sikorsky, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in the United States in 1942? Few years before my day. Daniel Davis and Experience Africans, thank you both for coming in. And thanks everybody for those thumbs up. And thank you, Scratch and Pete PA last week gave me just an unbelievable amount of feedback. Everything that I had asked about the stream so that we could improve. The AI host from last week is not able to read questions that have things like apostrophes and quotation marks and things like that. And often, because it's trying to fill in the gaps in between the questions, was giving the answers while answering the questions. So, Andy, good work. You got it. I should know that. I like helicopters. I'm just no kind of an expert or anything like that. Hopefully our robots are all doing what they're supposed to do. I think what I'll do in the future as well is maybe put a poll out, like let's say the day before the stream's going to go up, or in advance in some way, and see what categories everybody likes to play. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, but Waluigi's first appearance was in what game? If anybody does know the answer, you can correct my pronunciation too, if you don't mind doing me a favor. Hopefully I'm not kicking anybody out by putting on the subscribers only mode. I'm just editing a couple things in the background. Mario Tennis 64. See, I wouldn't have known that. I myself didn't have a Nintendo 64. I had the original Nintendo, but never got another system afterwards. I switched over to PlayStation and Xbox when Grand Theft Auto came out, so I stuck with those. Who invented the first ever chocolate bar in 1847? I wonder if our American friends or our friends from the UK or another couple of countries around the world actually call them chocolate bars, because here in Canada, we always refer to them as chocolate bars, or at least in my area and in my experience. As far as I hear from TV and movies, it's always called candy bar when the Americans are talking about that, but you guys can let me know. And happy 4th of July, by the way, that's coming up in just a couple of hours for our American friends. Hopefully our Canadian friends enjoyed their Canada Day, and good night, Kristen Welton, my love. I wonder if it's going to be the most obvious looking answer. It isn't. I would have chosen Cadbury, but it's not, apparently. Joseph Fry. The other thing, too, is that if anybody notices any questions with wrong answers, there shouldn't be any, because these are within the database of this service. They should have fact checked and everything else, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But if somebody notices an incorrect answer, I hope you'll let me know. Which of the following is not the host of a program on NPR? I don't know if I know all these names. I think so. Ira Glass apparently has an interesting perspective on the idea of microphones in interviews, and says that using a shotgun mic that most of us understand like this is maybe not the best idea, because the person you're interviewing always feels like they're under the microscope, let's just say, whereas those lavalier mics that you can hide in your shirt and things like that make it a much more informal conversation, and that's how you can get everybody at a better comfort level, apparently. Ben Shapiro, interesting. Okay, so congratulations, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, Matty J88, and Andy Heinrich. And thank you again, everybody, for playing along. We're flying through questions today, it feels like. I didn't put as long an intro on this stream as I did last week, and we'll have a shorter break in between as well. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right either. What is cynophobia the fear of? I'm not sure if that's cynophobia or if it makes more sense that it's cynophobia. So I wouldn't have probably got that right. I'd be guessing. I'd have a 25% chance. I haven't seen a green screen option on this service either yet. Then over time, hopefully I'll do a better job of hosting. They actually allow you to have co-hosts on here as well. You can share a link similar to what you might do with StreamYard or Zoom and things like that, and have a couple other people with you. So that's an idea for the future. Not sure if it's a good idea, but it might be. Andre Southgate, good to see you in the house. And Scratch and PPA knows that one. Fear of dogs. Interesting. Feel like that's something that's probably a little more common knowledge than I would have thought. But I grew up with dogs my whole life. So you'd think the term would have come up, but I guess not. The flag of the European Union has how many stars on it? Haven't studied Latin in 50 years or so, says Andy Heinrich. Stream Elements is coming in the chat there with an extra bit of trivia for us as well. You can drop your links, everybody who's got a channel here, I believe, if Nightbot is on the case, just by typing link, just like this. Everybody else can connect to you. And good work, Scratch and PPA and Corinne's Life. After this, we'll go over to a music stream in another 40 minutes or so, and we'll let that run for another hour. Everybody can hang out and connect with each other, and I've switched from OBS to Streamlabs on that just to test that out. What is the name of the Jewish New Year? Oh, these answers might not be updated either. I wonder about that. The service should be updated, but I'm not sure. I wonder if they think about that. This also has the ability to import your own questions. So an idea is when you use an AI system like Jasper or ChatGPT, you could come up with your own questions that will be different from anybody who's seen this game before, and then give it a little bit of variety. Then, of course, the host gives it a personal touch, if you want to call it that. Rosh Hashanah, so good work. Everybody got that one. Was that 10 questions already? It's interesting. I wonder if we're going to make it through all 4 games or if it's going to cut us off at the end. It literally is supposed to cut you off right at the hour mark, not with a second to spare. But what I'll do is I'll use it again next week, probably on trial mode, and then I'll just pay for it, and we'll try some more out. What I'm trying to do here is give a example of what I talk about all the time whenever I'm talking about YouTube, or if I'm asked. The idea is to run 10 or 12 episodes of a series before starting another channel or making a big production, just to see if it works out. So congratulations, Matty J88, Andy Heinrich, and Scratch and Pete PA in the top 3 positions there. And let's move on to the next game. Last week, we did a little bit of entertainment trivia. So this week, I've changed up the categories. But what we'll do in future, I think, is I'll take a poll and let everybody tell me what kind of categories they like. And we'll mix them up a little bit so that we make sure it's enjoyable for everybody. Because I imagine things like TV, movies, and music might be more fun than some of the other categories that are out there. And of course, with the internet at our disposal, any category is possible, right? Andy Heinrich, yes. No Bud Light. Yeah, no. That's okay. I only ever drink Corona anyway. That's the only thing ever. Who discovered penicillin is our first question in the history category. Although a lot of the questions in the last game came through the history category. That was really general knowledge, so very mixed up. Popping the popcorn, good to see you in the house. She celebrated a birthday. Was it, pardon me, was it yesterday? Popping the popcorn? Forgive me for not being certain if it was yesterday or if it was Saturday. Thank you, Corinne's Life. She's in Nova Scotia. And, oh, she's eating up the data here. And thank you, everybody, again for playing along. Last Tuesday, popping the popcorn. Was it that far away? Oh, dear goodness. I thought I just saw a birthday stream. Look at Scratch and PPA. Starting off the history category in the lead. Again, each one of these games will have 10 questions. We'll move on to another couple of categories, if we want to call them that, when we get through this set of 10. The idea of socialism was articulated and advanced by whom? You have a few choices here. Oh, pop in the popcorn, working on some watch hours, yes. In the other channel, we always have people helping each other with watch hours. This probably would be more fun with a co-host, eh? Even if it was just one. Even if it was just one or two. To get some discussion going. We'll think about that. And there you go. Everybody got the answer to that. Interesting. I took the easy way. It's so easy to host when you don't have to know the answers. But we're learning as we go, right? As Scratch and PPA pointed out last week, for which I was grateful. I think that's the magic of trivia. During World War II in 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the two Japanese cities of Hiroshima and what other city? Trivia is fun. If this works out, what I'll do is a trial series here. You know, we'll do this. My intention is to do it every week for a while until it either falls apart and nobody's interested, or until we get the kinks out and get a fun bunch of games going. And if that's the case, then we'll continue it, but then I'll find ways to make it really, really fun. Aramoon, good to see you in the house. Thank you for being here. Oh, popping the popcorn. Yeah, that's the one thing. If you get a finger slip on this game, it's not going to be able to be reversed. That one I think I would have got. Oh, thank you, Aramoon. Thank you for that. This is something we did last week as a test. I'm doing it again today as a test. And the idea is just to spend the next few weeks getting a system together, and then maybe after the summer, we'll continue if everybody likes it. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? In my grade 8 debating class, it was me, actually, because we have, obviously in Canada, a lot of focus on Canadian history, and we did a lot of exercises where we did a mock House of Commons and a lot of debating, obviously. We'll see. I think it's okay if I mention my own guess after the scene switches like this. What I'll do on the next question that I think I know the answer to, we'll try. I'll mention it the second the scene switches, and you guys can let me know if it's too fast or anything. It should be fine, but you know that whenever we stream, there's always a delay in the time that things are happening on my screen and the time they get out onto the YouTube system. John A. McDonald was the answer for that one. Yes. What year did World War I begin? Oh, I've got a warning on my stream too saying the bit rate is too low at only 400 kbps. Interesting. We'll see what everybody comes up with here. When you pay for this service, which I'll do in a couple of weeks, you can set the streams in advance like most other systems. They apparently have a way to plug into OBS and Streamlabs and things like that, so we can add our own stuff to it. It's a little bit limited in the background here. They haven't, this is a really fun idea, and they've got other games on the system, but it's not as advanced technologically, if that makes sense, as StreamYard and some of the others. And yeah, Jaden, thank you for asking. Yeah, I'll start scheduling them, probably not next week, but starting the week after. My intention is to continue. We'll do like 10 or 12 of these, right, until September. And then we'll see if everybody enjoys it and we can make it fun. Then we'll continue and maybe take it to the next level. Which year did Jenson Button which year did Jenson Button win their first ever Formula One World Drivers' Championship? It's interesting, when I was looking through some of the sports questions, I know less than anybody there is about sports, but when it comes to Formula One, for whatever reason, there's an unreasonable amount of Formula One questions here. So one of the things you think about if you were going to run your own trivia game, let's just say, is that you might think about setting up a game of 10 questions. But if you were going to go in a category like sports, say, can we make every question about a different sport, for instance? Because otherwise it might come up with three things almost the same, right? If that makes sense. Andy Heinrich, throwing a random guesses. Yeah, I think we used to say, if in doubt, always go with C. Wouldn't have worked out this time. And then, so that one there might have been a bit of a trick question, but I wonder, I'm assuming the answers are all accurate because they're all within this system. I didn't do any editing or anything like that. Jaden is going on a road trip tomorrow. Where are you going, Jaden? I think Jaden's in the last year of high school. Am I right about that? Or are you going on a road trip outside of school? Which modern country is known as the Graveyard of Empires? That's an interesting question. I've never heard the term before that I know of. Some of these questions have me like wondering, right? I'm so worried about YouTube's rules about not saying anything that they don't want you to say. You almost feel like you can't mention some countries' names for fear of getting somebody up in arms, but I'm sure we'll be fine here. Oh, Jaden finished school a while ago. Canadian Family Life, that's Tiffany. Thanks for coming in. Must be your first time on my personal channel, so thanks for being here, Tiffany. And which country? Because we already heard that name in another question earlier in the general knowledge game before this. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. That is for sure. At least I know that I'm going to be learning the most out of everybody here. I was telling a story the other day talking about this trivia project that's going on here. This is a part of that. When I was growing up, we did a staycation at a resort in Ontario. It's called Fern Resort. That was the year that Trivial Pursuit came out. And if I'm getting this right, on what street did the 1666 Great Fire of London start? I could be mistaken, but I think that Trivial Pursuit had literally just been invented in the year that we did that. And I remember all the parents are trying to get the kids to go to bed. I was a very young lad. And the parents all wanted to play Trivial Pursuit. Kids tried playing, but we didn't have a clue what was going on. It didn't look like Mousetrap to us, so we weren't interested. Jaden has a MacBook. Excellent. Yes, I'm very lucky, and I do love Mac. Haven't always had Mac, but try to look after them so they'll last as long as possible. Pudding Lane. Interesting. I wouldn't have known that either. The Macintosh, I think by now everybody's made their decision as to whether they're interested in Apple computers or not. But I have an Apple from 2008 that still works. We use it for eBay shipping stuff. And the internet is, just about as fast as everything else. Which famous military commander marched an army which included war elephants over the Alps during the Second Punic War, if I'm pronouncing that right, and forgive me if I'm not? Let's see how everybody's doing this time. Looks like I'm serious. Everybody in the chat knows more about a lot of this stuff than I do. I don't know how that is. Is it from not paying attention to school that had anything to do with anything that didn't have to do with a computer? Was that it? Oh, is this not public? What on earth is going on here? All right, there we have it. Scratch and PPA. Wow. And Andy Heinrich, Matty J88. as well in the third position. So thank you everybody for playing along with this one. We've still got a while to go, so hopefully we'll make it without getting cut off. I wonder about that, but we will try. I have a feeling it is going to cut us off. I wonder if there's something I can do about that. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything about it while it's running. We might get cut off right before the end, so when the leaderboard comes up this time, I'll fire the next one up as fast as I can. Thanks again, everybody, for playing along. Thank you for those thumbs up. Again, this is another test. I plan to do this like several times, so very casual, not taking it too seriously just yet, but seeing if everybody enjoys it. If it's fun, we'll keep it going. The body of the Egyptian the body of the Egyptian Sphinx was based on which animal? Is our next question. Aaron and Andy got that pretty quick. So, Junkyard Gamer, good to see you in the house. Word up. Armstrong Adventures, thanks for coming in. Wow, just about everybody, almost everybody got that one. Word right, yes. I am learning quite a bit. Today we'll get through the better part of almost 40 questions, so lots to be learned while we're here as well. What country is the second largest in the world by area? I think I know this. Now we'll try when the scene switches. How many times do I say I'm going to do something and not do it? I wonder if Scratch and PPA keeps track of that, because it must be like once in every stream on every channel. I said I was going to do something earlier and didn't do it yet. I think it was Russia. I don't know if that is anywhere near correct. I think Canada's the largest, right? There. Oh, Canada's the second. Oh, goodness. I wonder if that means Russia must be the first by landmass, right? Or world by area. I wonder if that means landmass, like area and landmass are the same thing in the eyes of whoever wrote that question. I wonder, right? Because there's a lot of water in the midst of Canada. We got a lot of like broken up little lakes and things like that. I wonder if it counts. Landmass might be a different thing. Maybe not. What is the capital of Jamaica? This one I'm certain I know. Might be an interesting bit of trivia for you that on my other channel, Tuber Chat, for the first year, the fourth most popular country for people who were subscribed to the channel and part of the Tuber Chat family were from Jamaica. It went the United States, of course, Canada, the UK, and then Jamaica. That changes over time. It likely will on everybody's channel. Again, if anybody here in the chat has a YouTube channel and hasn't connected to anybody else in the chat, you can just type link like this and it'll drop your link for you so you can connect to people while you're here and hopefully having fun as well. Kingston, there you go. Oh yeah, Jaden. One of these days, I think I'm gonna do the Stream Deck video. Maybe that's what I should do. Is instead of saying I'm going to ever do anything, I should just say I think I'm gonna do it. Hopefully soon. How many federal states does Germany have? This one, I have to tell you, I wouldn't have known. That's how you can tell I didn't look at the questions very well before we started either. I noticed a couple of quick things. This gives you the chance to, this system gives you the opportunity to add almost as many questions as you want. So I've been doing sets of 10 because I think that's good, and then we change it up a little bit every 15 minutes or so. But you can also, when the AI system that's built in gives you the questions that you want or you asked for, you can change even one at a time out. You just click a little button, it gives you a new question. So there you go. Wow, I'm impressed by the knowledge in the chat here today. Again, these are different categories from last week, obviously, for those of you who are here, but we'll pick some new ones next week or let everybody kind of choose beforehand. What is the capital of the United States? They Googled it. Yeah, Armstrong, maybe. Oh, certainly. Yeah, we were going to play an extra game. We're going to get cut off. I misjudged the time. We still got 5 questions to go here. Oh, I don't think anybody can cheat, to be honest with you, because the system here knows who answers first. So the time it takes for somebody to Google an answer would probably be longer than the first person answering in any question, I would imagine. Yeah, that's one of the things that was a consideration with the idea of like starting this is it possible to cheat? Of course, anything's possible, but I don't think so in this case because the speed, right? What's the name of the peninsula containing Spain and Portugal? And it is fun to learn. Fun to learn the facts that we're seeing here, but fun to learn how everybody's doing in the game, too. Oh, everybody got that one. Yeah, if you ever saw me out playing trivia anywhere, you should definitely bet against me. I wish so much now, later in life, that I had cared when things like history and geography were something being learned in grade school and secondary school and all that. What is the capital of the U.S. state of New York? If they ever had algebra trivia, I might have done well. I don't think anything like that exists. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Andy, if you know, you answer quickly. I think that's part of the game. I think that's part of it, is it takes into account who answers first. Because if more than one person were playing and got the same number of answers correct, the system still has to pick a winner, right? I don't think you can tie. Math and science questions. And it's funny because the science is one of the categories that I hadn't put in yet. Science is obviously a big category. But we tried history, geography, and sports today. I forget which ones we did last week, but it was music and movies, I think. I think we skipped television. But there's so much available, right? And after we try this out a little bit longer, we don't have to cap it at an hour. If it makes sense that these are going to go longer, that's fine. So we'll see, because it obviously looks like it takes about 20 minutes to play through 10 questions. Which of the following countries has a flag featuring a yellow lion wielding a sword on a dark red background? Oh wow! Look at Andy. Yeah, I never followed through that far. I probably should have. I had thought I was going to be an accountant. All I ever cared about was finance. And when I took an accounting class in the 11th grade, we started talking about debits and credits and double entry bookkeeping systems. And I lost interest within the first few days and said, that's not anything to do with running a company. It's a part of it, but it's not the central force, which I thought it was. So I moved on pretty quick. All that fluff and stuff from Australia. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And hopefully our music stream is going to work out well. Which ocean borders the west coast of the United States? I was late reading that one. Well, you guys are long already on it. And there we have it. So we'll go to the last question for this game. There's not nearly enough time to even get through the first probably even 4 questions of another game. So we'll cap it at this. So there's just another 2 minutes to go here, and the music stream is already running. So we'll go over there. If anybody hasn't already seen it, we have another channel which is copyright-free music, and we do some live streaming over there, and it's like a virtual party with a nightclub and a video game going and everything else. Which small country is located between the borders of France and Spain? And thanks again, everybody, for playing. I really do appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for those thumbs up. Like I said, this is something we're just trying out. It's an idea. So we did it last week. We'll do it again. We'll plan to do it again next week. Pardon me. And we'll keep these going likely until the end of the summer. And then see how we feel about everything then. Hopefully it'll become a little more fun every week. But I certainly do appreciate everybody playing. Let's see how the players did in the chat now. Andy Heinrich, Matty J88, and Scratch and Pete PA taking the top 3 positions in our geography trivia game. So thanks again, everyone. I dropped a link and I pinned it for the music stream that's running right now. Everybody can come over if you'd like to and meet more friends. You can drop your links over there the same way as here. And I appreciate everybody being here. So thanks.